All right, traders, this is Blake Morrow. You are listening to the Morning Edge webinar. I want to welcome you all back. Okay, let's go ahead and get started with today's analysis, and let's get through these majors. Glad you all are here this morning. And like I said, we had to start all over in the euro dollar. If you came in a little bit late, I pretty much just deleted everything because we had a flag pattern. Then we had, roughly, and I'll just do this really roughly. We had the flag pattern, okay, played out. Then we had the ascending wedge, didn't play out. We have a little inverted head and shoulder pattern that didn't play out either. So, now the euro's ripping, or was ripping anyway. But what we're doing is we're facing really key resistance, and this is the 4-hour chart of the euro dollar. And I'm going to make sure I keep this line here because this is a really important pivotal area for the euro on the way up and on the way down. I mean, you have key resistance. There's a spike high is 110.50, the low 110.50, the low 110.50, 50 or 60. It's all around the same area. Okay, roughly. And here we are again. We just rejected it. We went as high as 110.55. All right. So the question is, I personally think this is probably a great area to be on the short side. I'm not going to short it though. There's too much news surrounding Greece. Obviously, there's a Greek deal that's trying to formulate right now, but how about if their proposals, they're going from the Greek government back to the creditors. The creditors are it's going to be a negotiation point, like, oh, hey, here's this regarding debt. Okay, here's this regarding repayment. Here's this regarding reforms. It's going to be going back and forth. Obviously, there's going to be a lot of back and forth between the parties. So, you're probably going to get a lot of spikes, or you're probably going to get a lot of spikes higher, spikes lower. People are confident there's going to be a deal. People are worried the deal's not going to go through. All sorts of things. Well, you can see that based on the fall from the 1470 area, and they'll fall from 112.15. We have a confluence of resistance between the previous resistance, previous support, current resistance, two major fib levels. You got a 618 retracement right here, 618 retracement. You got a 38% retracement right here. That all comes in at 110.70, basically. So, if you want to short the euro right now, your risk is above 110.70. Really, that's where it is. If it breaks above 110.70, it's going a lot higher. Okay, that's the risk. I don't know if I'm bold enough to short the euro right now. If it was just a normal day, there would be no question in my mind right now about shorting the euro. If it was just a normal day and Greek creditors and the Greek government weren't meeting and discussing things, I'd be shorting the euro right now. But it's a risky proposition at the moment. It really is. So let's just assume talks go to hell in a handbasket. Where is it that we go, wow, okay, the deal's gone south and now it's bearish. Okay, and I think we've got to find that line in the sand, and my assumption is it's right here. Okay, right there. Oops. Basically comes in at, damn it. Basically it comes in at 110. Okay, if we break back below 110, you know things are not going so well. I think that's a good way to look at it. We're back in a range. Okay, we've been bearish for the last few days, but we're back in range. Let's go into the cable. Here's the pound dollar. And so yesterday we drew this and we said, hey, we should get a rally from here down at the channel lows. We did. Okay. I already got out. I'm already out. And frankly, yeah, if you don't know, hold on. If you don't know why I got long yesterday, so let me reiterate just so you guys can see it. Previous resistance, current support, 50% retracement, channel support. Okay, that's why I got long. But also, I'm very cognizant of the fact that we're in a down channel, and we couldn't even break above this resistance when I first got up this morning. I was like, we can't even scale that resistance. But what we really need to scale above is 153, which is the channel top here. Above 153, the pound turns bullish. Well, we're still pretty much in a range, but we're gonna turn back higher into the 154, 155. Okay. Now support comes in at 151.65, and I think it's all the same from yesterday, right? 151.65 resistance, 153 range. Oh, you know what? If you missed the lunch money webinar yesterday, I'll tell you. I'm gonna tell you exactly why I was I'll tell you exactly why I was short the euro yesterday. That this is the dollar index. Yesterday we hit our resistance, which was 97.65. By the way, yesterday's high was 97.68. What did we write down for yesterday's resistance in the euro? I just want to make sure I'm making sure I have the number correctly. Yesterday the resistance in the dollar index was 97.65. It was 97.65, wasn't it? So we went to 97.68. Oops, that's not what I wanted. So yesterday we were right here, right? That was yesterday morning, 24 hours ago. 24 bars ago, we were right there. Yeah, right, actually right here. And when we rallied yesterday, post ISM numbers, we hit 97.65, and that's right when I went long the euro dollar. It was right there. Okay. Obviously, we're gonna have to deal with that today, but okay. Yeah, that's thinking back what I did yesterday. That's the whole reason why I did what I did. Okay, let's go look at the Thomas says 3 pips, not good enough. Damn you, Blake Morrow. Damn you, Blake Morrow, for being off by 3 pips. What kind of free freaking webinar is this? Okay, here is the dollar Swiss. So, again, I have to reiterate, I'm not excited about trading the dollar Swiss at all. At all. At all. $94.75, $93.65. Same numbers as yesterday. I'm pretty sure. 93.65. I have no desire to trade the Swissy at the moment. However, if a Greek deal gets done, if a Greek deal gets done, I'm probably going to be buying the Euro Swiss. That might be a really, really good trade if a Greek deal gets done. Okay? Just letting you guys know. All right. Let's see. And you can see the dollar Swiss is starting to. Okay, let's go to the yen. So there's the dollar yen. Dollar yen still holding up really well. 125 is resistance right now. I'm really still looking for a move up to 120, 125.80. It's 161% extension of this whole move, this whole range back. It basically all of 2015's range. Okay, 161% extension comes out to. Let me make sure I got. Damn it! I did not want to do that. Hold on. Hold on. I'm just trying to get the numbers correct here. Okay. Yeah. So basically 125.75, 125.80. That's ultimately where I think we're going, and I am going to sell a move up there. So if we get to 125.80, and as long as obviously we have to know why it's getting up there. But if we get up to 125.80, I'm pretty sure I'm going to short it. Currently, 125, and you know what? I'm going to put both levels out there too. So 125.05, 125.75. Key resistance. We're still very bullish here. And 24.45, lows 24.42, so basically 124.40. Okay, let's go over to the dollar Canadian. I mean, the dollar Canadian, it was really, 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 really strong yesterday. Backed off a little bit. Let's get rid of that. I mean, we had been drawing how it'd break out to the upside. It did. The problem that we're having with the dollar Canadian, and is just this downsloping trend line. It is really affecting the Canadian. I'm gonna delete everything really quick. Oops. Okay. Let's stop here for a second. That's obviously a big deal. Okay, let me actually remove that. I'm going to put in array here. Okay. Now also, let's check this really quick. We should have some pretty key support down here at 124, 124.85. And resistance right now, which is pretty key resistance, is 125.60, whatever the highs are here. Just call it 125.65. If we can break that, then we'll turn really bullish. I'm gonna keep it on. I'm gonna switch it back over to range. I think we had a bullish recently, but just because I'm questioning whether we're going to be able to break out or not. But if we do, I mean, I don't think you're going to be able to stop the Canadian. I think if we break that, it's going to end up going a lot higher. But here's do you know what one of the biggest problems about the Canadian is right now? Is crude oil. If you look at crude, I'm going to show you guys something. To me, you got crude oil here, which is threatening a breakout. Okay. So with crude going higher, it's like, oh, whoops, almost instantly I want to short the Canadian, the dollar Canadian, because of crude. So anyway, um, let's go over to the New Zealand dollar. Matter of fact, I wish I can short the New Zealand Canadian. Well, anyway, the Kiwi dollar, 71.70 is resistance. I mean, that's easy. Support, it's whatever the lows are. 70, 76, 70, 75. Bearish. Okay, let's do the Aussie really fast. Here is the Aussie. So the Aussie broke its downtrend line. Now remember, we are in a. Let me get rid of this really quick. We don't need that now. We are in a megaphone pattern, but we've dropped really aggressively since we hit the top of that pattern. Since 81 cents. I mean, we dropped to 76 cents. Yeah, that's a 500 pip move in 2 weeks. It's a pretty big move. Okay, we're obviously getting a little recovery right now thanks to the RBA. So how much of a move can we expect from here? Well, I think we can get a pretty decent move. Wouldn't be surprised if we rallied back to maybe Oh, the 618 looks pretty doable. 78 cents. We're at 77 right now, so about another 100 pips or so. Looks very, very doable as far as I'm concerned. You got support, 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 618. Very doable. Um, I think this 50%, because you can see that spike high, you see all that resistance through here, this 50% should offer some pretty good resistance over the next couple of days too. So that resistance comes in at 77.60. And support. Dips are going to be bought now. I mean, let's go over to the hourly. So whatever the spike lows here are, that's support. It's what you trade against. Looks like we're even flagging here on the hourlies. 76.65. So as long as we're above 76.65, we're back to neutral. All right, when I come back, we'll do the dollar index, and we'll do any other of these dollar pairs. So don't go anywhere. I'll be back in a few moments. I'm going to go grab myself some more coffee. All right, traders, this is Blake Morrow. You are listening to the Morning Edge webinar. I want to welcome you all back. So let's finish off actually with the dollar index, and so here we are, and I think we have to take a step back because I could argue right now that we're on support. So if you want to buy the euro, you just, or excuse me, buy the dollar, you just buy it right now. Just like I said earlier about shorting the euro, you can short the euro dollar with stops above 110.70. You know, because we're really on support here on the dollar, right? So I guess, and you know, let's take a look here. It's actually really important. I'm going to delete everything for a moment. Come back and draw all this stuff. Okay, let's delete that for a second. Let's go over to the daily chart, shall we? Okay, so here's your daily chart, and let's do this. Okay. You see that line I just drew? It's really important. This trend line, very, very important. The reason why it's so important is because this is also right here is the neckline of that inverted head and shoulder pattern. Okay, so let's go out to a 4-hour chart. Do you see that? And this is a very pivotal area of support for the dollar. I mean, if you look at history, okay, when we sold off, we stalled, right? Bounced, finally broke through, brought in some sellers, retest, broke out, boom, right? And then now it's like, uh-oh, do we do that again? You know what I mean? So I guess, I mean, because I can look at the horizontally and say, well, yeah, we have support here, obviously. You know, this is what I had just drawn. But I guess my question is, oops, yeah, I'll just leave that the way it is. So it's somewhere around there. I guess the question is, you know, where's that? Here, I'll just do this. It's 38% retracement, yes, but the 50% doesn't come down for a while. Uh, So really, I mean, if we drop to 90, okay, so first of all, 96.65, but below that, 96.45, 96.45, 96.65, okay, where we're currently at. Obviously, resistance at 97, 97.75. Okay, range environment. Okay, all right. So those are all your majors. Let's take a real quick look at let's take a look at the peso. Now, you guys know that the peso is threatening uh, uh, a massive breakout, right? Massive. Because remember, if we break 1560, I mean, that's we're going to all-time highs or multi-year highs. Okay, let's get rid of some of the stuff. 1540, 1560. For you guys that can trade the peso, 1540, 1560. We break above this resistance here, and it's gone. I mean, gone. Like, you know, all-time high gone. You know, sneaking up on people. Here's the Norwegian krona. We were up what 2,000 pips yesterday. Week PMIs. I think it was PMI. 90% sure. Just knocked her head right into resistance. Look at that. That's going to be a big resistance moving forward. But with crude oil rallying, I mean, I have to imagine this is a good short. But, being short the US dollar, Norwegian krona, you're just assuming that the euro is going up to 114 again. So, anyway, um, Swedish krona has had a big rejection too. I mean, these are all big. I mean, these are big technical. But I mean, like here's the U.S. dollar, Swedish krona rejection again from the trend line. U.S. dollar, Norwegian krona rejection from resistance. I mean, this U.S. dollar, Norwegian krona. I think we can. 780, 781 and 8. Yeah, I don't know. Those are the just keep your eye on these Nordic currencies. They're close to moving too. I think a lot of it has to do with the euro dollar at this point. Let's take a look at the S&Ps. Sanjeev wanted me to add these to the bias chart. So let's take a look at the S&P futures. So the S&P futures came out of its triangle, but we're still in our ascending wedge, if you will. Okay, really critical support on the S&P futures is going to be coming up soon too. $20.85 is probably really critical support at this point because it is the 618. I mean, I'm just going to write down 2085 as being very, very critical support for. Oh, this is bullish, by the way. $20.85 critical support there. Um, so resistance right now for the S&P futures. Oops. I know we spiked up to 2110 here, so probably 2110 is going to be a big deal. But trying to even get above 2107 is going to be tough. So 2107, and we are just in a range. Okay. All right, I think I'm going to leave the bias chart the way it is that you see it right there. So go ahead and take your picture, or capture it, do whatever you need to do, and let's take some questions.